It shames me to say, when they told us of their origin, no one believed them. Them, the trillion-world gardeners. Them, the star tamers. Them, the uplifters of 1,000 races, ranging from planetary giants to a clump of microbes in some primordial muck. Our benefactors, friends, deities. The gardeners showed not just the Galactic Union their evolutionary history. They revealed their past to the entirety of the local group's commonwealth, and not a single species believed them. They were among the first traces of sentience to arise in our group of nearly 100 galaxies. But none developed so quickly as them. Of that, everyone knew. They were born in the primordial age of the universe, back when the cosmos was less than 15 billion years old. Primitive creatures, born in a lush garden around a yellow star. Fascinating creatures who thrived on a death world. Omnivores and apex predators. A curiosity in and of itself. Pack animals, but relentless, cunning, and so wickedly violent it made even the most hardy of war races quiver in fear. They had many adaptations, immunities to a plethora of microorganisms, for example. Some were more significant than others, like their uncanny throwing ability, or the nightmarish preference to chase down prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. Yet others were present in the gardeners. Namely, the capacity for abstract thought. But one above them all set them on the evolutionary path to becoming the gardeners we were so familiar with. It was said that when their ancestors adopted the mutation for bipedalism, their hands were liberated, and thus optimized for precision manipulation. Indeed, that was the case for many races. But then again, many races saw little need to use tools, what with their natural physiologies. In the beginning, for these creatures, this increased dexterity was used to create and wield more complex tools. In the pre-astral era, before they left their home planet, this was taken to the extreme. Their tools at the time were exceedingly complex, you see. Computers, they called them. With input devices comprised of a board with up to 88 keys, it was said that even the average specimen could type up 40 words per minute using one of these boards, using only their external manipulators. There was but one such example. Their personal devices, smartphones, had touch interfaces that could be navigated at a pace that could leave one dizzy, should they not be prepared. Vehicles, from drones remotely piloted via a box with levers attached to it, to wheeled land vehicles operated with foot pedals and a wheel. Even fighters, ships and shuttles, all piloted and operated by lower limbs, upper limbs, and seemingly insignificant manipulators. Even that wasn't the entire picture, however. As with every race, the development of technology led to higher educational standards among their citizens. Hard labor was replaced with machines, and in time, so too were the administrative roles. But that was where the similarities ceased. These creatures retained their ambition. They kept researching, they kept learning, and most importantly, they kept developing. The engineering marvels we saw created much speculation amongst the Commonwealth, with many implying the dwarves of the Magellanic Clouds diverged from this common ancestor around the same time period. But that is a story for another day. The downside of such a marvelous industry was the destruction of their world. Yet these creatures were able to leave their cradle and venture out into their home system. An ordinary system, if one discounted the two massive belts of mineral and volatile wealth coupled with 4 gas giants. In their new domain, these creatures obtained a level of post-scarcity. As with every race, obtaining a post-scarcity society gave birth to a renaissance of some sort. The Lychounds, for example, delved into virtual war simulations or theatric pieces of endless gore. The Cephlara began creating architectural wonders. The worlds of Orcanus saw massive fleets of void cities, only so they could look upon their water worlds in awe. In all cases, however, these products, wonders and marvels, were always the result of artificial or synthetic intelligence. They were the only exception, without even being so. With their blood so industrious, they dove into unlocking the secrets of the cosmos with a fervor that could only be described as possessive. Within only a few cycles, their medical technology advanced such that the life expectancy exceeded 100 of their standard cycles. With that same time frame, the entirety of their system was colonized. A dozen more cycles saw the birth of an artificial ring of solar collectors around their parent star, bringing about the post-astral age. They tamed the divine, the life-giver, their star. These creatures, humans, obtained divine power with their own fleshy hands, then proceeded to blend it with their technology to create magic. They then used this magic to create better computers, magical computers with more keys to allow them to do more things, dozens of things, simultaneously. But even that wasn't enough, for they weaved their magic into their clothes before they were placed inside their bodies, and when that wasn't enough, they implanted their magic into their very genes. They made themselves divine, yet they did not stop. As it was stated, they were relentless. With their digits so dexterously evolved, they delved into the arts on a planetary scale. They tinkered and toyed with those fingers. They freshed their bodies in dances that could soothe the most rugged Suvel dreadnought, and created pieces that would bring the most stoic Decaraxian to tears. They remade their world in their image, then the other rocky planets and moons in their system. Then they began looking elsewhere. With their magic they developed superluminal travel. With their magic they remade dead worlds into dreamscapes. With their magic they seeded countless worlds with life. With their magic, they waited. Yet they did not stop. For countless cycles more they explored dead worlds. For eons they created gardens. For ages they guided their flowers towards the light. Like the gods they became, they watched entire civilizations rise and die in brilliance from the shadow of the void. They waited patiently. For us, the seeds they sowed on countless worlds. Yet, even with their divinity, they could not shake off the hand of evolution. Or, if one believed the conspiracies, they didn't care to. Their lives, now modest and full of leisure, led them to develop live bodies. Yet their refusal to live under anything but the apparent gravity of their cradle led to an exceedingly graceful and agile physiology. Their continued tinkering with their magic led to their fingers becoming slightly elongated, thus increasing not just their dexterity by at least an order of magnitude, but their grip strength as well. Of course, their magic led to increasingly longer lives, easily doubling or tripling 100 of their standard cycles, in turn resulting in lower birth rates. Their lust for exploration has led to experience on a number of worlds, over time resulting in heightened senses and elongated ears. And then there was their magic, one of many seeds or perhaps a catalyst of their evolution. Of course, they could summon fire or a bolt of lightning with a flick of their wrist, but that was the least of it. They could meld into computers with their minds. They could control machines with a mere thought. They could influence worlds, nay, entire systems, without a single member of their species being found within. They could, and did, prevent countless stars from colliding or ejecting out into the deep after the merging of the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies. They ensured we would not be wiped out before we came upon our own age of Astra, or until we were on the brink of extinction. In all cases they came to us, not as humans but as the trillion-world gardeners, the star tamers. They came to us as astral elves.